Okay, hello everyone. We're getting ready for episode 2. Karl, Franz. On this episode, we are going to try and take over Ubersreich and Eilhart, and we will try and get our province secure, and then we can turn our focus to the fort of Helmgart. Alright.
Yes.
Okay, so this is at the beginning of a turn. Sometimes when you save a game and come back to it, it will put you at the end of the last turn that you just completed. So before we get involved in this battle here, let's take a look at our building browser, because you can see the cities. They have a sledgehammer visible, one on each one. That means that we have the option to build some buildings. So we have 10,925 in the bank, and we're going to earn 1,430 every turn. For now, again, that will increase and decrease as we take cities and build armies. So let's go to Altdorf first. So let's go to the building browser, and that will open up so that we can see all the different types of buildings that we can build. And then let's do a quick glance at Grunberg as well. So Grunberg, which is the city that we just took at the end, towards the end of the last episode. If you look over here on the left, you can see that it is only a 3-tier settlement. 1, 2, 3. So that means that you can only build buildings up to 3 levels. That's why these up here have X's on them. You can't build them because that takes a level 4 building and this takes a level 5 building. Altdorf, however, is a level 5 building, but right now it's only currently at a level 2. So eventually we will get it up to level 5, and then as you increase your levels, it opens up more buildings that you can build. This building right here, the training fields, the rally fields, and the barracks, you can see that that is only a 3-level sequence of buildings. So having it in Altdorf, which is a 5-level tier city, really doesn't make any sense, because I can have this built in Grunberg. It's right there, and it will only take up 3 levels, because you're only allowed so many slots of buildings. Like, I'm not going to be able to build all of these. You're only going to be able to build a certain number of slots. And when you have a 3-tier, like right now it's a level 1, so I can only build a secondary building in 1 slot. When this one gets built and it goes to a level 2, it will open up another slot. So as the buildings increase, it will open up levels that we can, or it'll open up different slots that we can build. We just got to choose which ones are which. We can't build them all. There's only so many slots available. So this one is wanting to know, do you want to spend 2,000? It'll take 4 turns for it to happen. But do you want to take Grunberg from a level 1 city to a level 2 city? And that is a definite yes. So it costs us 2 grand. Right there's our treasury. So instead of 10 grand, now we only have 8,925. So that is all that we can do in this city. So let's go back to Altdorf. I'm going to leave this here for now, and then once I get all of my cities, I will start building these buildings in one of the other cities, and then I will destroy this one, and then this will be ran through another city. Now remember, if you have the entire, as you take these over, these buildings work in unison with each other. So just because it's in this building and not this building, it'll still work. We'll still be able to recruit from all of these buildings and still get the benefits from all of these buildings no matter where we are. So this is telling me that I can take this slot of buildings and actually go up to a level 2. Now this is the slot that I'm going to move to another city. So I'm not going to bother improving this one or increasing this one because I know I'm going to destroy it and build it in another town. So for now, we're going to let that ride and not do anything with it. Down here, it's showing that I have 2 open slots. And it's the ones that are lit up. I can choose this. I can choose this, 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 this. Anything that's lit up, I can choose. But like we're talking about here down at the bottom, I can only choose 2. So I can choose this one and one other, or this one and one other. All right. So right now we need money, and this one is a weaving house. And if you read the green, it says that it is income generated $250. That is per turn. And somehow I'm getting a 5% buff. I'm not sure how, but instead of earning 250 per turn, this one is going to earn 262 per turn, and it's only going to cost me $500. So that is what I'm going to choose. This is going to give me 262 per turn, and it's only going to take 1 turn to build. So next turn, I can actually, if we have enough money, I can actually come up here and build this one. That one, and when I build that one, it's going to cost $1,000. You can see that right there. But instead of $262 per turn, this one is going to generate income of $375 plus 5%. That's going to give me $393 per turn. That one is going to take 2 turns to build. But that's where I'm going first. Now I also have 1 more of these to build, and this one provides growth. And we want growth because we want to get this building and all the other buildings up to their highest levels as quickly as possible. And the only way that we can do that is through growth. All right? Here's where the growth is at right now. I am gaining 65 points of growth per turn. And this is telling me how many turns it will take before I get a population surplus score. So it's telling me that in 2 more turns I will have a population surplus score of 1. So for me to get this to a level 3, I need a population surplus score of 2. So if I choose growth, it's going to increase this number, which will actually increase this number faster, which means I can get to that population surplus cost, or that one, faster. And we want to build these buildings to their top level capacity as quickly as possible, because as we build them to the top level capacity, the higher up these things go, the more badass these units are. So we want top tier units in our armies. Because right now we're dealing with low level units in our armies. So I'm going to choose growth. It's going to cost me $500. We have plenty of money. And it's only going to cost 1 turn to build. That will increase this, and our cities will actually grow faster. So we're done there. I still have a sledgehammer there. It's telling me that I can improve or increase this one. But like I said, I don't want to, because I'm going to tear those buildings down in this city, and I'm going to build them either here or here or here once I take them over. All right. So we are ready
Yes.
for Karl Franz to take over or make the attack on Ubersreich. So let's do that.
Men, war calls.
All right. So this is showing me what we have. My opponent has 3 swordsmen, 3 spears, 1 crossbow. And I have an army of my lord, Karl Franz, my magic user, great swords, 1 halberdier, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 swordsmen, 2 handgunners, 1, 2, 3 archers, Reichsguard cavalry, and an artillery mortar unit. So it's saying decisive victory, and our casualties will be low. If I hover over, this is the auto resolve button. When I push this, the battle will be over. If I hover over the auto resolve button, if I'm going to lose any of my units in this battle, if I auto resolve it, they'll show me which ones I'm going to use or which ones I'm going to lose. So as you can see, none of my units are being affected whatsoever. So like I said in a previous episode, anything that is decisive victory or decisive defeat, we're just going to auto resolve it just to keep the game going. Anything in between those two will actually go into the fight screen and we'll fight them. So auto resolve, boom, we're done. All right, so you can see the casualties that I took. It's how low the green bars went, and for the most part, I come out of there unscathed. These guys were all killed. It's telling me we had a decisive victory. It tells me that we deployed almost 1,400. I lost 185 guys. I still have 1,211 remaining, and I captured 217 of these enemy personnel. They deployed 810. They lost 810. They have none remaining, and they didn't capture any of me. I earned 120 prestige, which is up here. I earned $239 for the treasury. And what is this? Experience for Karl Franz was a plus 1,278. We will see if that is enough to give him a level. So we're done. Wants to know if I want to occupy it, loot it and occupy it, sack it, which means basically rob it, and raise it, burn it to the ground. I need this for my province. So we want to occupy. Alright, so this little pop-up here, before we go back to the battle, this little pop-up here is telling me that there has been a Skaven, which is, that is a faction of rats and vermin. There is a undercity underneath Altdorf of Skaven. Now, for the most part, it's not that big a deal. This thing will eventually go away, and at very worst, there will be an army of Skaven that will pop up, and if there is, we'll deal with it. But this will usually just go away over time. It may affect my public order. Right now my public order is 7 and it's gaining 5 per turn. This may drop because of the factor of the Skaven city is underground, but eventually this will go away and it's a non-factor. Alright, so we'll get rid of that. Okay. This is telling me in the bottom right that, because I'm out of moves, I can't move anymore. And we've already built what we're going to build. So this is telling me that I have unassigned skill points. So that's pretty much tells me that we gained a level either with Karl Franz or my wizard or both. So let's click on it and see what we want. Alright, so this is Karl Franz. I have 1 skill point to use, and I'm still going to stay on this bottom one until I get over into here and get the things that I want. I have to select enough of these before this will open up. You can see these are dark, so they're still locked out. So I'm going to choose Leader of Renown again. When I selected the first one, it cut my recruitment cost by 5%. When I select the second one, it's going to cut my recruitment cost by 10%. And then so forth down to the third one, which I will have to get as well. It'll allow all my recruitment of my incoming army personnel. Eventually, it will cost 15% less than what it normally does. So we'll take that. And it does, if you can see that. I don't know if you can or not. The wizard has a yellow triangle on him that basically says that he has leveled up as well.
Prince and Emperor.
So, I have one skill point to use, and I just go through these and try and figure out which one do I... eventually, I'm going to get all of them. I'm just trying to figure out which one do I want now, which one do I think is going to give me the best bang for my buck early going. So if I choose this one, this is called Lore of Heavens. And I can hex my opponent. It gives them a negative 24 melee attack and it drops their armor by 30. I can cast it from 200 meters away. It has a 35 meter range, which means it basically only affects one unit at a time. It lasts for 25 seconds. And then I can't cast it again for 38 seconds, and if you look in the if you look towards the upper right hand corner of it, I can't put my cursor on it because it'll go away. There is a blue circle with the number 11 in it, and that tells me how many winds of magic it costs to cast. So it costs 11 to cast it. This one only costs 8 to cast it. Roiling Skies. It doesn't cost anything to cast it because it automatically casts this anytime that I am casting a spell to begin with. Harmonic Convergence, that is a buffer or a plus. I cast them on my own people. It takes their armor up 30. Takes their melee defense up 24, their melee attack up 24. I can cast it from 200 meters away. It lasts for 22 seconds, has a cooldown of 30 seconds. And with the upgraded version, because I already have one, if I go to the second one, it'll give a miscast chance of 35%. So I think I'll do that one. So the only thing that we can do at the moment with this guy is improve our own troops, which that's fine. I'll take it. And I believe outside of checking diplomacy, I think we're pretty much done. So let's go to quick deal.
Of the realm.
So this is a Bretonnia faction. This is basically modern day France. These are our neighbors to the west of me, on the other side of the mountains. I am here, Reikland, and then this Bretonnia factions, they are kind of in through this area. So they're just on the other side of the mountains from me. They would like a non-aggression. And it also tells me who they're at war with. They are at war with the Wood Elves, which are down in here. And Broken Axe, which are greenskins. They can pretty much be anywhere. But they are probably in this area, being that they are at war with these guys. So we'll go here.
Hail,
And none of this stuff showed up
you come looking
green.
for aid,
So
or to
we'll
cause
just stay with the
trouble?
non-aggression
I
pack.
never know with Reiklanders.
I'm at a plus 9.5. So let's balance it out. I'm getting 1,400. I'll take it.
Fine.
Never turn down money.
So,
Let's go to
What?
trade agreement. Nobody's interested in a trade agreement, but it's still early in the game. Military access. Nobody yet. Defensive
Lord of
alliance.
Watonia.
Nothing yet. But even if there was people who were interested in a defensive alliance or a military alliance,
time.
it's too early in the game to be messing with that. We'll wait. They'll show up.
Sigma's will.
Nothing for Confederation and peace treaties, no. So we are ready to, whoops, let's get back to my country. There we go. Alright, let's end the turn. We have 269 factions. They are all moving now. We can't see any of them. The only thing that we will see is if any faction happens to move in or around our area, we'll see them move on the map. Alright, so this is a random pop-up that happens. It's basically a scenario, and then you have to choose what it is that you would like to do. And it's basically, it says Theodric Gosser of Nordland, who is one of our neighbors to the north, send you an invitation to be his personal guest at their annual Wurstfest, some sort of festival, the annual harvest time festival in which citizens all across the empire feast and toast the gods, their land, the empire, and their ancestors. It is a grand gesture for a head of state to extend such an invite to another, so naturally you accept. Alright, so it's already telling me what I'm doing. I'm accepting. On the day of Wurstfest, you are called away to lead an army against a minor uprising. The scuffle did not ultimately need your personal attention, but insurrection is exactly the type of situation you are compelled to deal with in person. Due to this, you do not take your place at Theodric Gosser's table. Theodric Gosser is greatly insulted by this. Appeasing him may take more than a mere fruit hamper. So it's giving me options. I can arrange an honorary banquet, but it's going to cost me 500 prestige to do that. And I only have 484, which is why this is blacked out. I can't do anything. If I spend $800, I can arrange a state gift. And I can smooth over the situation by that. If I do nothing, it's telling me that their fealty level, which is basically their... I'm at a loss for words. Basically, their loyalty towards me will drop. Or how they envision me, or my reputation with them will drop. Right now, my reputation with them is scored at a 5. 10 being the absolute best. So I'm average with them, so-so. If I do nothing, then this score is going to drop by 1 down to a 4. So I have plenty of money. I have 11,270. I'm not interested in pissing these guys off. So I will arrange a state gift. I will send them $800, basically saying I'm sorry. And their fealty level will stay at a 5, and it only cost me $800. So, one thing I just realized at the end of this round, when I took Oberreich, I could have recruited and put a couple more pieces in the army, and I didn't. So I kind of didn't improve my situation right there. And I should have. Got to talking about other things and then not concentrating on the things that I should have been doing. So there's no sledgehammer here, so I can't do anything with Grunberg. So Altdorf, let's see what we can do here, because we knew from the last turn that I could still build this building, but I don't want to, because this thing is going to get torn down. So I can increase this building and start earning 393 per turn instead of 262. It'll cost 1,000 and take 2 turns. I have plenty of money. We'll do that. And then I can increase my growth again. It'll take 2 turns, cost 1,000. I have that. So we'll do that. Still not going to do anything with this, because eventually I'm going to tear that building down. Alright, so let's go attack Eilhart.
Men,
Let's
we
take
must
it.
attack.
Decisive victory. If we hover over auto resolve and look to the left, none of my people are going to be affected. So we will auto resolve this. Decisive victory. I earned 121 prestige, 240 in gold, and 1278 experience. And according to my green bars, I really didn't take a whole lot of damage anywhere across the board, so we're good. We will occupy it. And Karl France gained a follower. Alright, so I will open up Karl France's character and I will show you how this is implemented. There's another follower, and that is my magic user. And I gained a weapon, special weapon. If they are in green, they are a magical weapon, but they're the lowest level magical weapon. So in this one, whoever I'm going to have actually handle this weapon, their melee attack will go up by 3 and their weapon strength will go up by 4% simply by having this weapon. Province is secured, which means we have all 4 cities now. So I'll show you what we do with that. And that is it. Okay. So first things first, number 1, I want to recruit before I forget it. I can recruit any of these. This is local recruiting. This is global recruiting. We want to always local recruit if possible. That means that we're recruiting from the buildings that immediately surround us. Later on, it's possible that we can recruit from our buildings no matter where we are on the map, and that's called global. The only difference is global recruiting, number 1, it costs more to recruit them. Their upkeep doesn't change. Well, I can show you the difference. If I recruit locally in Reikland, my swordsmiths only cost $338 and $100 per turn to upkeep them. If I global recruit them, say I was not in my province and I was somewhere else on the map, they're going to cost me $650 to recruit, but their upkeep stays the same. So we always want to local recruit if possible, but global recruit is always a nice option so that we can still recruit and not have to send our general or lord all the way back, regardless of where we are on the map. We don't have to send them all the way back to our territory to recruit and then send them all the way back to where we were. We can just global recruit, costs more, takes longer. Like here, I can recruit all these guys in one turn, but global takes twice as long. So if these guys down here, if I had a unit down here that took 2 turns to recruit, it's going to take 4 turns to recruit up here. So they're more expensive and they take longer, but the upkeep is the same. So I'm going to choose, what do I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got 7 melee infantry, which is plenty. So I'm going to choose 2 more archers. Okay. So we have our province is intact. So I can just click on any one of these cities. And if I come over here to this little blue square, I can give a commandment for my province. It's basically a buffer or some sort of perk that applies to everything in this region. So let's go to the very top one. Basically control +4, which is this. The number 12, that is basically my public order. It's also considered control. My public order is 12 and it's gaining 5 per turn. So if I choose this, it says control +4. So instead of it gaining 5 per turn, now it'll gain 9 per turn. My public order is already on the rise. It should, unless something drastic happens, it should continue to stay on the rise. So I'm not interested in increasing my public order. The one below it is Sigmarite Dogma. I have no idea what it means, but basically it says an enemy hero action, success chance is negative 15%. Later in the game, you will see heroes, individual characters who will come into other people's territory, and simply by the presence of them on your property, they can do you damage faction-wise. They can drop your public order, they can raid money from you. So this is basically saying whatever that enemy hero can do, he has a 15% less chance of it happening. You can chance of intercepting an army using the underway, Beast's Pass, or world routes. Now there's some factions in here. Dwarves are one, Beastmen are another, Skaven are another. They have underground highways that they can use, and they can pop up right beside you and put you at a disadvantage. This is basically saying you have a 25% chance increase in detecting that and being able to go fight them underground. It'll be its own little fight map. It's pretty interesting. And next, corruption will drop by 2%. So let's take a look. Now I don't have any corruption at the moment. It's something that would show up here on my little banner underneath. I would imagine that eventually I'm going to get corruption because I have a Skaven city under here. So eventually I think I will eventually start to see Skaven corruption in this province because of that underground city. Again, that will eventually go away. It's not anything that I'm worried about. And there's not really anything that I can do about it anyway. If a Skaven army should happen to pop up, we'll deal with it. But for now, we're not going to worry about any of it. So that's that. Next, imperial taxation. There's a certain tax rate on the province, which is what helps generate some of my income. I can increase that tax rate 5%, which will basically increase my income. I'm not worried about doing that. This is the one that I normally take because, remember, we want to try and grow our cities and our province as fast as we can. This gives me a plus 20 on growth. So my growth right now is at plus 125. So simply by choosing this one, that will go to plus 145. It will cause me to get to my surpluses faster, and then I can build my cities faster. Also, income from trade tariffs, 5%. So basically, any of my trade agreements that have tariffs in them, the amount of those tariffs will increase by 5%. So this is the one that I always choose. And then this is the bottom one. To be honest with you, I have never chosen this. And once I have my cities always all the way to the top, I come off of growth and I always choose something else. What I normally choose is income from all buildings, up 5%. So this one, it will decrease my recruitment cost in this province by 5%, and my local recruitment capacity will go up by 1, because right now, here's my capacity. My local capacity has 2 slots, so I can only recruit 2 units at a time. Over the course of time, as my cities and stuff get larger, this will increase. My global, I can recruit 3 units at a time, and same with them. As everything grows and this game progresses, this will eventually grow to where I can recruit 4 or 5 units in a turn. So I think I may do that on this one. Once the growth is done and not needed, I think I'll select that one instead of the tax rate. So for now, I want the growth. Alright, unassigned skills. So Karl, Franz. Yep, he has earned another one. So leader of the renown. We'll choose that. Now, everything that I recruit costs 15% less. So let's get rid of them, because now I can buy them 15% cheaper, or another 5% cheaper than what I just did. There we go. Alright, so there's nothing else here that I can do.
Absolutely not.
Alright. Helmgard is going to be my next target. And if I hover over Helmgard, it's telling me down below, right there, that they have a garrison, which is basically units inside the fort, armies inside the fort of 14 units. And
Not
this
like
guy has 8 in his army. So right now he's got a total of 22 units, counting the garrison and him, 22. And he's recruiting, so he's going to have more than that. I
command here.
have 18, counting these two. Remember, I can only have a full stack of 20, so right now he's already got me outnumbered. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to recruit another lord. I can select any city that I want. I'm choosing Obersreich because it's the closest to Helmgard. And I can recruit a hero here, or I can recruit a lord. I don't think heroes, none of these are even available. It takes a certain building in the building browser. If you build a building, it will unlock your ability to recruit a hero, or the game will randomly give you a hero, such is the case for my celestial wizard. The game just gave me that. So let's go to recruit lord. I can choose an archlector, which is basically a battle priest. It gives you, over on the left side, it gives you his specifications. He has battle prayers, which are basically almost like magical powers. He's heavily armored. He has armor of 95. He has a melee attack of 30, which is pretty low. A melee defense of 55, which is pretty decent coming right out of the gate. He'll be a level 1. Weapon strength of 380, that's average. Charge bonus of 26. He has... He has abilities. He has missile resistance of 15% already. So any bullets or bows and arrows will affect him 15% less in damage. He has divine power, which is a hex. So any opposing or enemy... Really, I didn't know he had that. Any opposing wizards or spellcasters automatically have a plus 50% miscast chance simply because he's on the battlefield. Passive ability, everything within his range will have plus 8 leadership, which means they'll stay on the battlefield longer. Another passive ability, base weapon damage of 20%, armor piercing weapon damage 20%, speed 10%. Interesting. He can hide in force, that's typical, most units can. Encourage, that's typical, most lords or heroes can. Grand Soulfire, which is a bombardment spell, does not affect friendly troops, so he can basically cast this right on top of our units when they're fighting with somebody else, and it will only affect the enemy, not ours. The Grand Shield of Faith puts basically a damage resistance of 20% on anything within 35 meters. And the Grand Hammer of Sigmar plus 24. Yeah, I'll get this guy.
Warrior of Sigmar.
So there he is. And I will... right now, he is right outside the city. So I'm going to put him in the
Sigmarite
city.
Archlector. Ready to serve.
Now, because Karl, Franz is recruiting 2 archers from the local pool, I can't recruit. I mean, I can, but nothing will happen because Karl Franz I can only recruit 2 per turn. And Karl already has 2 of them spoken for. So I will recruit here, but not until Karl Franz is fully loaded. So we're just going to build a quick, basically trash army, just to bring the numbers up a little bit to match this guy.
What orders?
All right, so this is basically Colt von Klugberg. This is the lord that I just recruited and placed in that city. He has 2 skill points. So we'll go Route Marcher and the Leader of the Renown. So his recruitment is cheaper. Let's go to Diplomacy.
Yes?
Nothing here.
The
No trade
Empire.
agreements.
Who calls?
Ostermark is good for a military access, which means they can run on my property and I can run on their property and it won't have any effects.
It is good to see fellow sons of the Empire this day.
Sigmar's will.
So,
Honor before glory.
No defense, no military confederations, none of that matters. Right, I believe, let's go back to my hometown here. I believe that we are ready to go another turn. Here we go. I'm going to set a timer here for, because I'm guessing we're probably around 30 minutes in. I'm going to try and keep this episode close to an hour. So I think I'll set the timer here for 40 minutes. And when this timer goes off, we will stop this episode. That way the file is not so big when I upload it to YouTube. Alright, that last window that I closed basically said that this, if you remember from the last episode, the skill tree, I chose tithe rebates, which increases my growth by 10 and my public order by 2. That's done. So I now have that. And it's basically telling me now you can select a different one. So now I am more interested in grabbing something for the army. And this one is infantry. These are infantry buffs. This is cavalry buffs, which are basically improvements. This is artillery buffs. And this is missiles, which my army is mostly missiles. I have handgunners and archers that consist of most of my army. And they will be always a big part of my army, no matter what level of the game I'm at. So I want to choose this one. This one basically takes my ammunition up 10% for Free Company Militia, which I don't run. Crossbowmen, which I will run. Huntsman, which is a kind of archer. I don't usually run them. Regular archers, which I have been recruiting now. They're the ones that are so cheap. Handgunners, which I have a couple of them now. I will have more. And Pistoliers and Outriders are basically a missile-driven cavalry unit, which I hardly ever run. I don't like them. To me, I think they're a waste of time. So there's other people who probably love them to death. I don't. So I'm going to choose this one. And I will have this. This takes 5 turns for it to come through. But in 5 turns, my ammunition for all of my missile units will increase by 10%. Alright, so let's bring Karl Franz. Alright, this guy now has 10 and 14 still here. So he is now at 24. So I'm going to bring Karl Franz over to here.
On march!
I'm still keeping him, if you look, I'm still keeping him inside my territory. So I can recruit again. We'll go 2 more missiles. Alright, now,
True servant of
even though they
Sigmar.
won't come through, I am going to recruit 1, 2, 3. Let's go 4 of them. 4 swordsmen. And archers. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That'll give me 11. Yeah. We'll go there. So all in all, it'll take 6 turns for these to happen. And eventually, I will have Karl, Franz, and him, both, will come up and we will target Helmgart. Alright, this tell me that I have a building upgrade. So if you look, Ubersreich has a sledgehammer, so I can build something here. Eilhart has a sledgehammer, so I can build something here. Altdorf has a sledgehammer, so I can build something there. And if you remember correctly, Altdorf has a line of buildings that I don't want in it because I want them in somewhere here. So let's see what Ubersreich's got.
I serve Sigmar.
So Ubersreich has, I'm ready to build, this go to tier 2, 2 grand, and they're already providing me income, which I like. So let's go to Eilhart. I can also build here, 2 grand, and they are providing me with growth. I'll take that. The only thing that I can do at Altdorf is increase this. And I don't want to because I'm going to tear that down. Actually, I can tear that down. No, I can't. No, I can't. Because the only thing that I am recruiting, because over here I can recruit archers and spears from here. And I can also recruit them from here. But I can also recruit Free Company militia and swordsmen. And I am currently recruiting swordsmen. So I don't want to destroy this building yet. It is going to get destroyed. I just don't want to do it yet. So let's take Ubersreich and build them. Now I can only do 1 at a time. So I can't do Ubersreich and Eilhart. So I can only increase 1 city at a time. And then I'll have to wait until my population surplus scores again. Then I can. Alright, so let's see if we got anything in diplomacy. No. Alright. So we are ready to end the turn. Alright, Reikland, which is an Empire faction that is way up over towards the northeast of me, has been destroyed. So we will go see if it'll show me. Reikland is always up here, Brass Keep. And these, if I hover over that banner right there, I'll get this little pop-up. I don't know if you can read it. But in the upper right-hand corner of that little pop-up, it says, I'm not even sure how to pronounce that, the Fecundites, or the Vasundites. And right below that, it says it's the Warriors of Chaos. Now, they are the ultimate enemy in this game. So we're already seeing their presence just to the north of me. Now, what I'm going to do is, this is Talabik land, which is a member of the Empire. I'm counting on these guys to hold their front, and I'm counting on Midland, which is also the Empire. I'm counting on these guys to hold their front, and if they can't, we'll go help them. and try and get it back for him. This is also another enemy. These are greenskins. If I can get that over there. Yep. Upper right hand corner of that little pop-up, it says the Black Pit Tribe. Right below it, it says greenskins. These are basically orcs. And so you're dealing with monstrous humanoids. No intelligence, just killing machines. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. And see if maybe we may have to go up and help the neighbors out a little bit. Alright, so Karl Franz. He, for the time being, this is my full stack of my full stack army, 20 slots. So it's got my Lord, my magic user, 1 unit of great swords, 1 unit of halberdiers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units of swordsmen, 2 handgunners, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 archers, 1 Reichsguard cavalry, 1 artillery mortar. So you can see
I'll ignore that.
he is up to 13, and he's also building a secondary army. Just basically a lord. He'll start recruiting as well. The only reason that this guy showed up is because this guy showed up. No worries. We will take him down. I just got to wait on this guy. It'll be 5 more turns for him to get leveled up. And who knows, they may come down and actually attack me. And they're not going to just sit there and wait. We'll find out. But if they do come down, I've got them. There's no way they'll be able to handle me. Alright, this is basically telling me, it says the Lord's not moved. Because eventually in this game, you're going to have lords and armies all over the map. And they'll be tough to keep track of. So this will just help you. It's basically saying you have a lord on the map who hasn't moved. Do you want to move him? And all you got to do is click on it.
Bring me to my men.
And it takes you right to him no matter where he is on the map. I know he hasn't moved. I don't want him to move. I have a building upgrade. Alright, Isleheart. Which is this one. I can increase that city. So let's open up the browser. It cost me $2,000. I have 4,800. We'll do it. Unassigned skill point. My magic user, he has went up another one. So let's go. Let's do this one. It's if I'm casting a spell, this thing automatically comes out, and it covers the entire map of the battlefield. And what it does when I'm casting a spell is all of my enemy will go 25% slower, and their melee defense will drop by 20, and it lasts for 25 seconds. So we'll do that. Building upgrade. Nope, I don't want that. So let's end the turn. Let's watch. Let's see if these guys come down. I like seeing this. This is Bretonia, another faction of Bretonia. Like the Empire has multiple factions, so does Bretonia. These guys are starting to build up a little bit. Maybe, just maybe, they'll come up and attack this, make them weaker, and then I can come in and take them out. So let's end this turn.
My lord, a rival power desires a change in your mutual relations.
Okay, what this is basically a diplomacy screen that was started from another faction on the map. And this is who started it. Vlad von Karstein. He's one of the most powerful lords in the entire game. He is the vampire counts. As by default, when the game starts, I have a non-aggression pact with the vampires, and I never end this non-aggression pact because all it does is send the vampires my way before I'm ready for them. Because these guys in the early game, if they get on a roll, they are hard to beat, which is why one of our first, if everything else around us will allow us, these guys are going to be my first real opposition that I'm going to face. So they're basically telling me that they are ending the non-aggression pact, which means I may be at war with those guys before I'm actually ready to be at war with those guys. We'll see how it plays out. Alright, faction destroyed. Skull Takers. This is another green skin orcs. I don't even know where they are on the map. I haven't even seen them, but it is telling me that they have been eliminated. Alright, so what do we got here? Alright, he is up to a stack of 15. These are all weak units. And he has one that he is building. Their garrison went up by 1 to 15. So he is getting stronger.
I will do anything for Sigmar.
Alright, 4 more turns and I will have this army ready to go. I'm guessing that these guys are probably going to come down.
In the name of Magnus.
I want to show you something here.
I am Prince and Emperor.
If I hover over Ubersreich, there's a red circle that shows up. And that is basically, that red circle is showing that if a battle happens anywhere inside this red circle, these guys will help. So if you look at Karl, France, I'm just outside that red circle. So if both of these armies decide to come down and attack me, they won't help me because I'm outside that red circle. So all I got to do, let's move over here. Now I am in that red circle. So if they come down and attack me, or they attack Uberstrike, they're getting all of us. You see what I mean? Okay. So we'll stay right there. Building upgrade. What is it? Alright. Altdorf and Grunberg. So let's open up Grunberg. Alright. So I can upgrade this. Alright, the bottom one is telling me, which we've already got, because it's got a check mark on it. So we're already generating, we're already drawing income of 104. It's already providing a plus 30 growth buffer for us. Casualty replenish rate of 4%. And recruitment cost is 20% cheaper for pistoliers and outriders, which I don't use, so that's a non-factor. But I do like the fact that it increases the growth, and the income buff is kind of nice as well. So I'll take that. But because this is now level 2, it's opened up another one. So right now I need money. So we're going to take that. It's just going to provide another $262 per turn. And the only other one is that one, which is that column of infantry units that I don't want to increase because we're going to tear it down. Alright, so I can't recruit there. I've already got all the recruiting done here. Let's go to diplomacy just for a quick check. Nothing on non-aggression, nothing on trade. Trade right now is the biggest thing that I'm worried about. Trade and military access. Good. Karak, Norn, which are the red dwarves. And where are they? They're not here because those are dwarves and they're kind of red. But the red and white ones, I believe, are clear over... Remember, they stay in the mountains. And I believe they're over here. But I'm not close enough to them. All this is still under smoke and fog. But I'm pretty sure they're up in here. But they want...
An ad?
They want a non-aggression, and I would be absolutely delighted. Dwarves are extremely powerful
Welcome, men
and
of the
great
Empire.
to have on your side. So we got military access, and they are willing to give us $769.
I suppose.
I will take it.
Yes?
I'm not interested
Aye.
in defensive or military alliances at the moment, so we'll stop there and... Alright. I want to stay visible here during the turn change, so that way if anything happens here we can see it. So right now we're just in a waiting game. I'm just waiting to build this up. And then go up and be able to attack here. What we got here? Behold the twin-tailed comet, Grundberg. The twin-tailed comet arcs across the sky. A portent of great events. The grand... I apologize if I murder these. Theogonists has decreed this to be a good omen. Your warriors are elated that Sigmar looks upon them and gird themselves for war. Twin-tailed comet will last for 3 turns. It's basically public order +4, leadership +5 for all armies in the region. It only lasts for 3 turns, so it's a small buff, one that we will probably never even notice. Alright, he is up to a 15.
Not possible.
He is up to a 5, so between the two is a 20. And 15 here is 35.
Praise be to Sigmar.
3 more turns. Here is a hero. It's a single entity from a different faction. And this is telling me that we are at war with this faction. And then the symbol right above it, this is basically their banner, because this is the army. This is just telling you who he belongs to. He belongs to the Beastmen. So they got a full stack. And this little thing right here tells you what this guy is doing. So it increases the amount of chaos, corruption in the local province by 2. So he showed up. But if you look at my banner here, the corruption hasn't showed up because it's only showing me money, public order, and my garrison size. So I'm telling you right now that this city is in danger. He is probably going to come. He's either going here to Marienburg, or he's coming here. And because the hero is in my territory, I'm guessing he's going to come here. He's going to attack that city. He's going to absolutely destroy it. I ain't got time to worry about him at the moment. We need to focus here. Building upgrade. Okay. We know we're not doing that one, but Grunberg, I can increase my income faction, or my income column here. Take it up to 393. It'll cost 1,000. And we can end this turn. We're done. All right, so let's come over here so that we can pay attention to these guys and these guys when we change this turn.
Speak. I will hear you now. Be warned, my mood is dark.
Alright, diplomacy. So this is, I always call these the blue vampires because their banner is blue. They are saying that they are declaring war on me, and I don't have any allies to ask to come help, but I also don't need any allies to come help. Not with these guys. I'll show you where they're at as soon as this turn is over, because they're right beside me. But they're generally not that strong of a faction, so I usually don't worry about them too much. Okay, so these guys didn't move. He didn't move. Alright, we're still not showing corruption in the city. Nice. And he is, this hero, this is his army. And what they are doing is raiding. And they are raiding $588 per turn from Marienburg. So as long as he is staying on that side of that line, he's not raiding from me, he's raiding from them. I don't care. Alright, so we got 2 more turns, and then we'll be able to possibly go wreak some havoc.
I cannot.
Lord not moved, I know that. Building upgrade. Alright, so Grunberg can be increased to a level 3. It'll cost 4 grand, take 2 turns. Obersreich can be up to level 3. Cost 4 grand, take 2 turns. And I can also increase more money. So I'm going to hold off on taking these to level 3 at the moment. Ooh, Altdorf can go to level 3. Altdorf I will, because that's a level 5 city that I need. Obersreich, I'm going to take you up on the income building so that I'm making more money. And we got 2 more turns. Alright, let's end this turn. This is kind of a lull right here. I know there's not a lot happening. Alright, so this is the Beastman. This is, I told you that it was probably going to hit this city and destroy it, and it's exactly what it's telling me they're doing. He's got a full stack of 20. And I have a garrison of 7 guys. It's a decisive defeat. There's no way we can win it. We're going to auto-resolve it. A lot of times, he won't take the city, but he will either sack it and just rob it and we'll still contain control of it, or he'll burn it to the ground. Either or. It doesn't matter. And he just proved me a liar. He took the city. That is now his city now. Which, that's fine. It's not a big deal. Alright, so we have another situation here. And it is called the Great Debate. At a recent congregation of the Elector Counts, which are basically all of the Empire leaders, there is a lengthy discussion about the separation of the religious cults from the matters of imperial policy. Politics and religion are starting to clash. There is much polarization in the group on what is a highly charged issue. Eventually, an argument breaks out between the electors of Stirland and Middenland, who are on opposite sides of the argument, with both looking to you to lend your voice to their argument. So they want me to help resolve this issue. You have said little about your thoughts on the subject until now. You feel little will come of this debate, but a leader of your standing cannot be seen to sit on the fence on matters of great import such as this. So basically I have to choose a side between Midland and Sterling. And right now, Sterling likes me better than Midland, but Midland is my closest neighbor. So I need to make sure that my relations with them stay higher than of what Sterling is. They're both important, but because of strategic closeness to being my neighbor, I need to make sure Midland is happier than Sterling. So I'm going to support Midland. That basically is telling me that that city was lost. And this is telling me that we have another technology that was learned. And if you remember correctly, that was ammunition. Increased 10%. So we're still going to stay on the missiles. I can either choose volley fire, which will cut the reload time down by 15% for all of my missile units, or I can go, that is for missile resistance for the 2 types of cavalry that I don't use. Or I can take my missile strength up 10%. So I'm going to choose reload time so that they fire faster. Alright, this guy moved down. So
The nation calls.
Alright, basically what I was doing was I was seeing if I hover this over him, you'll see down on the ground there is a yellow line that appears. That's telling me that if I attack him, I also get this 15 garrison coming at me, and this army here as well. So it's not just him, because he is, just like I move this guy into this red circle, he is inside of his red circle, and then he's inside this red circle. So they're all still close enough that if I attack one of them, they're all coming. So not in a hurry. One more turn. And I'll have these guys ready to go anyway. Then I'll hit him. Alright, Lord not moved. I already know that. Uber's right. What do you have? I got an empty slot. Okay. And I could probably set that with, because I don't have a lot of money, only $1,400. So we'll go with growth, 500 bucks. And let's end this turn. Now, one of the things I'm going to be watching, outside of what these guys are going to do, what are you going to do? Because if he goes over and plays with Altdorf, there's no way he'll take it. He ain't strong enough. Because I got a garrison of 15. If he hits Ubersreich, he'll also fight all of me. He'll get his ass kicked there. The only thing that he can do that's going to hurt me is if he makes a run for Grunberg. Alright, so what do we got here? While the Emperor's armies march forth, our nobles barter with each other, claiming great swaths of land for themselves. Should the common man, the brave soldier, not have a farmstead on which to retire? So basically, if I choose one side, I get $1,500 in my bank, but my leadership drops by 10 when I'm fighting against humans for the next 3 turns. And I'm getting ready to fight humans. So if I choose this for 3 turns, my public order will drop by 2 in all the provinces, which I can afford that. And my leadership in my armies will go up by 4. So I need that for now. Alright, faction destroyed. One of the Bretonia's guys have been taken out. And a caravan arrived from these guys just randomly show up, and your treasury will go up by 3,000. I don't know how, I don't know why, but it's like they just give away money. I'll take it. All right, so these guys are ready,
By Sigma.
and
Summon the
Karl
Elector
Franz
Counts.
has been ready. So
Protector of the weak.
I'm going to set him right outside the red line,
I go where I am needed.
and I'm going to set him right here.
I will fight
Let's see
with
what
you.
happens. It's saying a Pyrrhic victory. If I hover over, if I auto-resolve this, which we're not going to, but you will see all those units will be lost. So that kind of gives you an idea. I mean, I can just hit that button and we win, but I lose all of those, which aren't that big a deal because all I got to do is just re-recruit them. You know what I mean? But if you remember correctly, I set a rule. I will only auto-resolve decisive victory and decisive defeats. Anything in between that, we need to fight it. So this is saying that I'm going to win, barely. So let's put it to the test. Let's fight it. All right, this is a preview of the map. It looks like all of his reinforcements are coming from the back of him, which is good, so that they're not coming at the back of me. And my reinforcement is also coming from the back of me. So good. So far, I like what I see on the map. I'm probably going to do a tactic. It's called corner camping. Basically going to set my army up in the corner. And we will have them come at me. Alright, so what I'm looking at here is the white line. The white line is the absolute edge of the battlefield. So I'm going to set, I can only set up inside the green. And then once the battle starts, then I can move anywhere I want. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to set up in the corner of the green. Then when the battle starts, I will move my army back to the corners. Always put the artillery at the back. Alright, cavalry. Is there a place I can put you where I can hide you? I'm looking for forests. Alright, so they are hid, and the only reason I know that is because here they are in my... This is my army of 20, and right above that, I see there's a little eyeball. Means they're hidden. Means that they're deep enough in the woods, nobody can see them. Sometimes you can hide in the woods. Sometimes the woods just isn't thick enough to be effective. Alright, so we're going to go archers in front of these guys. There we go. And then we'll go 4 archers in front of them. Two handgunners.
Our weapons are yours.
Alright. And you got to remember that I got another army coming in who consists of more infantry.
We are Sigmar's heirs!
For Helder!
Weapons are yours! Great swords! Ready for war! Swordsman! Ready for war! Conditions acceptable! Yes, sir! By Ulrich's wrath! Taking aim! Soldiers of the Empire! Yes, General! Loaded, sir! For the Emperor! Conditions acceptable!
All right, let's get everybody
Troops ready!
grouped up.
Take aim! By Ulrich's wrath!
All right, Karl Franz. Is he on a horse?
Show no mercy! They want us!
He is. Spellcaster.
Convergence!
I'm going to want him towards the front, but I also want him protected.
For Heldenhammer! This is my command!
Alright, I never worry about channeling magic. So let's start deployment. Start the battle. Pause. Highlight all these guys, and then we're going to drag them back so that they are back at the very corner. Alright, there is my timer. So that's where I need to stop the episode, but we'll finish the battle. And then we will stop the episode.
Very well!
Because there may not be anything left of us. You know what I mean? Because we may get our asses kicked right here. Alright, so it's showing that these guys are moving in. So I'm just going to speed this up. Fast forward till we get all lined up here.
I cannot abide this!
Alright. So my mortars, they only reach to right here. So these guys aren't moving until these guys show up. And they will show up in 20 seconds. And my guys will show up in 20 seconds as well. My guys, remember, these guys are sacrificial. This is the army that I want to keep intact. So I am going to place all of these guys in front of
State troops ready!
these guys.
Fighting range, sir! Moving now! With speed!
Alright, if you take a look right here at the top, this is the balance of power. It'll kind of give you a progression of how the battle is going. You gotta watch these guys, because once in a while these guys swing wide and they will come into... Because if anybody gets too close to these guys, they'll be seen. And then it's possible they could be attacked. So I need to watch that. I'm hoping they don't get close enough to them that they see him. Alright, let's speed this up. Alright, so their entire army is on the field. And the balance of power is still basically 50-50.
Ready for war! Swordsman!
I'm just going to spread these guys out a little bit.
Quick march! We serve the Emperor! Yes, sir! Quickly!
Alright, so good. These guys haven't been seen. So we're just going to speed this up. They're on their way towards us. Once they get close enough, my mortars will start firing. Should be about right in there. Mortars are going to go. Here comes the mortars. Good, 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 good. Alright, so they got one cavalry unit. Alright, look at how all this is globbed up. This is great, because as soon as they get into position where the mortars can start hitting them, I'm going to have the mortars just fire into that big glob, and they will get many, many, many kills. Alright, so we got...
Understood!
Let's turn all the archers onto those guys. Fire away. Alright, line back up again.
Yes, General! Finding range, sir! Mortar! Taking aim! For the Emperor! The Sigma! Fire! Ready to fire! Sir! Ready! Take aim!
Alright, mortars.
Mortar!
Fire into this mess.
Cannons, fire! Wait!
Alright, just counting on the missiles to handle a lot of this. Get off as many fires as you can.
Karl, Franz! Attack! Ready!
Send Karl, Franz in to fight the Lord.
Sigma! Preservers! Moving now! Hail Sigma! Sigma, preserve us!
Alright, we are going to bring the cavalry out. Because look at all these missile units that they can handle.
Sigma commands! To me, men! To battle! Do not trust! Now! For the Empire!
Alright, cavalry. Get into them. just telling certain ones to fire at certain things.
Bring it down! Heldenhammer! Take that foe for Heldenhammer! For Heldenhammer! Prepare for combat! Ready for war! Prepare for combat! Death to the enemy! Formation march! What? Take the ground! Emperor's might! Charge with us! Now!
Alright, just having the cavalry just kind of sweep around the area back here, taking up as many as they can. Definitely doing some major damage. They're doing good. So far their health is keeping up.
They are wavering! Awaiting orders! No!
Nope, you stay there.
Kill everything!
Cavalry, get over here.
Cavalry ready!
There you go. Alright, gonna have some missiles fire into here.
Enraged!
'Cause that's a big cluster.
Right, traitor! Now we strike!
Balance of power is starting to move in our direction.
Don't stop until they're all dead! We obey!
I just gotta watch with the cavalry that I don't charge them into spears, which is what those are. So we'll head back out there. Look at all these guys just sitting.
In the name of the twin-tailed comet! For Franz!
Doing good, doing good, doing good.
Yes, sir!
All of these guys here can be hit. Let's send mortars over to here.
Units ready! Reikland!
Send them back over to here. That's one of the bad things about cavalry. When you have them, you kind of got to micromanage them and then hope that your army is sustaining. Because, like right now, I have no idea what's going on behind me.
Moving now!
Get out of there, cavalry. Get out of there. Alright, let's go hit these guys.
Withdraw!
There you go. Anytime these guys are flashing, that means that they are close to routing, and right there's a victory. We win. That's in the battle. It was giving us a Pyrrhic victory. We got a close victory, which is actually better. So we did all right. Mortars got 94 kills. Reichsguard got 222 kills. Everybody else, middle of the road stuff. We did all right. It doesn't tell me what my supporting army did. But we deployed 1,780, roughly. They deployed 28, 29, basically 3,000 there, so 3,700. We were extremely outnumbered, but we held on. We did pretty good. I'll be curious as to how much of my front army is left. But remember, they were sacrificial. This was a big battle, so it's going to take a while for this thing to reload. There we go. Close victory. I got 692 prestige. 1,400 bucks. And Karl France went up 2,653, and I got a potion of healing, which basically replenishes hit points of combatants. So I got a choice. I can take unit experience of plus 100, and that executes all captives. And I have 862 enemies captured. I can take the captives on and replenish by 14%, which is probably what I'm going to do because we took some damage there. Or I can just let them go and only receive $330. So I'm going to take them on so that I replenish by 14%. Okay. So let's take a look at how strong my army is. They're pretty decent. Karl France needs some time to heal.
Champion of the faith.
I don't remember what I had. I may have lost a unit or two.
Praise be to Sigma.
Alright, I'm going to send you right there so that you can recuperate. It's saying 2 turns. 2 turns. 2 turns. 3 turns.
Ready.
Karl France can't go back.
Never.
You're hurt pretty bad.
Not likely.
You're hurt pretty bad.
No.
Yep.
As is my right by Sigma's crown.
So if I go into march mode, can I get out of there? I can't, so I'm stuck. So I need you back in here again.
Sigma's path.
Alright, so if we advance,
Here to serve. Unthinkable.
The nation calls. I command here.
so that is going to drag everybody in still. Let's try it. What do we got? Close victory. Okay, we basically have a ton of archers. Alright, we're going to do the exact same thing. Let's do this one battle right here. No, actually, let's encircle this. This is basically means we're going to surround them and wait them out.
Men, war calls.
Kind of like putting them under siege, but not really. Alright, so let's apply our skill points. So this hasn't been opened up yet. I need to spend one more, and I'll spend it on Iron Disciplinarian, which basically takes my public order up by 1 in whatever province my lord is in.
No peace, just war.
Looks like my Celestial Wizard has gained 1. So we will go with Iranon's Thunderbolt. And it will look like this. Pretty cool. My Harmonic Convergence, it looks like this. It's basically, he casts it on a unit, and it gives them buffs. And Rolling Skies, nothing. Okay. So we'll take the Thunderbolt.
Protector.
And then this is the general of my sacrificial army. I got a building upgrade. Let's take Obersreich? Yeah, let's take them up. Then once we get this resolved, we'll turn our attention over to the Beastmen. So let's end this turn, and then once this turn is over with, we will stop the video. And then that will be it for today. We will start the next video, finishing conquering Helmgart, the fort, and then turning our attention to the Beastmen.
Approach me, vile beast.
All right, this is the other vampire faction that's over there with Vlad von Karstein, and they have also ended their non-aggression pact with me. That's not a good sign. All right, one more here. The Moot, which is an establishment or a city over close to the vampire faction. It's under the control of Sterling, and they have come under attack to Skaven in the region, and they're kind of asking for our help. I can spend 2,000, build a military force, and send it over and help them fight against Skaven, and it will take their fealty, or how they look at me, take it up one. I can send scouts, spend 300, basically you say, I'll send these guys to help you, and it's a non-character thing. It'll all happen behind the scenes. It'll piss Sterling off, and it'll drop their fealty by 1. I can hire nearby mercenaries. If I spend 1,000 prestige, I only have 1,500. I'm not doing that. But it will increase their fealty towards me. Or I can do nothing, and it'll drop their fealty from a 4 to a 3. I don't have the extra money. I only have 4,400 in the bank. They want 2,000 of it, so I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that, and I'm not doing that. So for the time being, I'm going to do nothing. It's going to piss off Sterling, and it's going to drop him 1 point, but I'll have to deal with it. All right, so we will end the video right here, and the next time that we go, we will start here and fight this battle, and then we will go from there. But for now, that's it. So I will catch you next time.